Multi-account channels, we touched on this back in lesson 2, but this lesson is about the practical patterns. The real configurations you will actually use day-to-day. Quick recap. A channel can have multiple accounts. Each account has its own credentials, its own allow lists, its own action policies. Bindings let you route each account to a different agent. Got it. Now let us get into the patterns. Pattern 1. One account per personal context. Your work Slack workspace and your side project Slack workspace each get their own account, bound to different agents. So, Slack account work routes to your work agent, strict allow lists, professional tone, careful action policy. Slack account side routes to your personal agent, looser allow lists, more casual tone, same Slack, different worlds. Pattern 2. Distinct DM allow lists per account. Within an account, you set channels, .slack, .accounts, .work, .allow from to your colleagues at work their Slack user IDs. The allow from on the side account can be a totally different set of people. The two lists do not interact at all. So your work colleagues never get bot responses on your side workspace, and your side project collaborators never get bot responses on your work workspace. Clean separation. Pattern 3. Distinct agent bindings per account. Your work account, bound to the work agent, uses your work persona, your work memory, your work auth profiles for the model providers. Your side account, bound to the personal agent, uses your personal persona, separate memory, separate model auth. They cannot leak into each other. Cannot by design. Pattern 4. Per group overrides via the group's subkey. Inside an account, you can target a specific channel by ID and override the action policy. So, your work account in the random channel can have action send disabled. The agent will read messages, can react, but it will not actively post. Read mostly. A practical note. Channel IDs, not channel names. When you reference a specific group inside the configuration, use the stable ID, not the channel name. Names can be renamed. IDs do not change. Configurations that match on names are honestly fragile. There is a flag called dangerously allow name matching for cases where you really need it, but the warning is in the name itself. Take that hint, skip it for production. Another practical note, health monitoring per account. Each account block can have a health monitor subkey. That tells the gateway to ping the channel periodically, watch for connection issues, and surface them in the channels panel of the control UI. Really useful when you have got several accounts and you want a single dashboard view of which ones are connected and which ones are stuck. One glance, done. Last note, backup. Your channel credentials live under ~openclaw/credentials/channel-name/account ID. Back that up alongside the rest of your .openclaw directory. Because if you lose those credentials, you are going to need to repair every account. Painful. That closes module 5. In the next module, we cover sessions and pairing, how conversations are organized in OpenClaw, and how a chat surface becomes a trusted DM. See you in the next one.